Ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask you to please find a seat. It's 10 o'clock and we do things promptly. I didn't recognize you without your magic wand. Good morning, everybody. As I am sure Reverend Gillis and Reverend Pridgeon will say, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us all rejoice and be glad. And this is going to be a marvelous edition. You know, there's a phrase, and I'm sure a lot of us have used it in our life, especially in the business world, that this particular thing is like a shot in the arm. Well, a shot in the arm has taken on a whole new meaning over the last year in our entire universe. But as we talk about vaccines, we are still talking about things that are going to be a shot in the arm. And to say the least, this facility is that and so much more. Because quality of life is not for some, it's for everyone. And this is a place where you not only keep your wonderful self-image, but it also continues to build on all of the character blocks that you've already had in your life, and maybe one or two broke at one time or another. My name is Kevin O'Connell. I am very pleased for the distinct honor of being your Master of Ceremony for this morning's ribbon cutting and grand opening of this remarkable Alfieri Family Center of Hope and Promise. What a perfect name for a very lovely family. My thanks to Stu, my thanks to Aubrey for their gracious invitation to join you today. I have been a fan of the City Mission since I was brunette. It goes back a couple of years, right, Russ? We've been there for a while. My sincere thanks to the City Mission for inviting me to be with you this morning. Your work has a very special place in the hearts and certainly in the character of our community. Today we also have a great cross-section, if you'll notice, who may be sitting to your left and your right, a great cross-section of our community for this very special occasion, and how timely it is when tomorrow is the beginning of Passover. And it is the story that reminds, I guess, all of us that we too are in search of safety and liberty. The words of Elie Wiesel are perfect, I think, for this morning's occasion. He said, "I love Passover because for me, It's a cry against indifference. It's a cry for compassion. And I think that's been the mission statement of the city mission for as long as I can remember. And today is also another wonderful celebration of the life of Miss Harriet Tubman, because she was not only an American abolitionist, but a very strong political activist in her life. Born into slavery, made some 13 different missions to rescue about 70 enslaved people, including her family, including her friends, and using the network of the Underground Railroad to work miracles. So we have on this day many things to be thankful for and many things to celebrate for different and important reasons. And with that, I would like to get our program started. Just a couple of little housekeeping details that I have to take care of first. As a reminder, please keep your mask on. Anyone who is speaking here at the podium is going to remove their mask simply for a courtesy and to make everything a lot easier to understand. So we just want to let you know that. If you are already signed up to take a tour of the brand new facility after our program is over, your section is right there in the back. Once that is done, I'll give you kind of a signal. Your tour guide will come and take you on the tour of this remarkable place. Did I say something wrong? Get him out of here. I used to be a weatherman, but not any longer, okay? We don't deal with that. Those in the outside section will be dismissed, and at the end we're going to have our actual ribbon cutting. I'm going to call a group of individuals who are here this morning to please come forward. We'll have our photo opportunity, we'll do the ribbon cutting, and then we're going to be having a little reception in the chapel area this morning for your enjoyment. That's the housekeeping, and with that, I would like to invite Pastor Jerry Gillis, who will deliver our opening prayer and remarks. The pastor is the lead pastor of the chapel at Cross Point, with 4 convenient locations, he told me to let you know, in Western New York. We'll get the commercial out of the way. A native of Atlanta, Georgia, but he found his true love in a place called Buffalo, New York. He's been serving the people of the chapel since 2002 and has been in vocational ministry since 1992. I'm glad to call him a friend. Reverend Jerry Gillis. Pastor.
Thank you so much, Mr. McConnell. O'Connell. I told him, I called him that a moment ago, and he said, "No, it's Kevin." And I said, "Well, okay, but if my mom listened to this, that's the Georgia upbringing in me." Thank you, Kevin. Welcome to all. Today is a significant day. It's a day of blessing to our Buffalo community. We're celebrating the beginning of a new day for the Buffalo City Mission. This journey started more than 2 years ago. It started in the hearts of people longer than that, but it started more than 2 years ago to demonstrate the love of Christ to our community. It's been a challenging year for everyone, of course, and we realize how we need each other. For those of us that embrace the teachings of Jesus and the apostles, we're told this in Romans chapter 12, beginning in verse 9. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil and cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with the Lord's people who are in need, and practice hospitality. See, all of us today have a personal connection to acting this out and serving others in need. We've learned to endure through hardship and to offer our hands and our hearts and our resources to those needing help. We all want to help people find a path of restoration and hope and renewal. Today, the Buffalo City Mission officially opens a new chapter with this beautiful new community center, a shining example to our community of a commitment to God's love and God's work. And this will serve people the way the Buffalo City Mission always has served people, anybody, from any way of life, with compassion, without judgment, and without discrimination. Every new journey begins with a single step, and the step taken today is going to be felt for decades to come. So please join me as we open our time in prayer and we celebrate this special occasion and commit this work to the Lord. Let's pray. Father, we come humbly to you this day, thanking you for the commitment and the vision of so many who have come together to see this community center become a reality in Buffalo, in Western New York. This will serve as a shining light of a commitment of a community to care for every person, wherever they come from, whatever hardship has befallen them, whatever need they have. Thank you that this demonstrates your very heart, God. And I pray that we would be a people committed to sharing our hearts and our hands and our resources for your glory in this region and for the good of every single person, every man, woman, and child that makes up our community in Western New York. May your blessing be upon this place. May it be fruitful for your work. We pray now in Christ's name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. If I served my thoughts correctly, when Stu and I were talking before the program began this morning, I said, you know, the both of us, especially you, have been through an awful lot. Aubrey and I have talked about this quite a bit, as well as what this place used to be and what this place is now going to be. And I think with that, I would like you to focus your eyes on that screen right there, because I'm going to show you what the transformation of 100 East Tupper Street looks like.
In September of 2018, the Buffalo City Mission embarked on an ambitious journey to create a place that would offer help, hope, and healing to those experiencing homelessness and those on the brink of homelessness. Today, the 75,000 square foot Alfiero Family Center of Hope and Promise provides 83 beds in our emergency shelter, 13 resident suites that have 4 individual guest rooms within each suite for our transitional housing program. In addition, we now have ample space for our community partners, Jericho Road, Spectrum Health and Human Services, and many others. With this new flagship facility, the Buffalo City Mission is equipped to face the needs of our city today and into the future. We are committed to give those in need a hand up, not just a handout, by providing real solutions and strategies so people can build new lives and stay on a healthy path to a better future. We are humbled and inspired by the incredible generosity of our neighbors and friends who have come together to make this new facility a reality. Thank you for helping make Buffalo an even better place to live for everyone. This is your city. This is your mission.
I've always said that the only thing maybe bigger than our smiles in this area are our hearts. And I know there's a lot of individuals in this room that prove that every single day. One of them is coming forward right now. He is the jurisdictional manager at National Grid's Customer and Community Management Group, is also the president of the Buffalo City Missions Board of Directors, and he has served in that capacity for 21 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul Kaspersak. Paul?
Thank you so much, Kevin, and good morning to everyone. Whew. Watching that video. This is a truly inspirational day to be here with you all, and it's literally been years, and I mean years, in the making. As president of the Buffalo City Mission Board of Directors, it's my honor to be here for this exciting moment for the City Mission, as well for the significance it means to our community. Since I last spoke with you all in September of 18, we have taken on new challenges and successes together, united by our steadfast vision to achieve great things and realize the promise of this new community center. The same motivation propels us today as we work in collaboration with all our partners. Our work has never been more important. For more than 100 years, the City Mission has grown with this community as an advocate for the poor and the homeless. Just let that sink in for a moment. 100 years, the Buffalo City Mission has been caring for this community's most vulnerable. The City Mission has empowered our individuals with the resources they need to find renewed faith and to make their own meaningful contributions to our society. Today, as we celebrate the official opening of the El Fierro Center for Hope and Promise, we recognize the City Mission's latest achievement that promises to change the face of homelessness for decades to come. The El Fierro Center represents the very best of this region's generosity and the belief in serving our fellow neighbors. In opening these doors, we've achieved something truly, truly special. This legacy belongs to everyone who has contributed, and I have no doubt that it will live on for the next century and beyond, the next 100 years. Our next chapter begins now, and it is a blessed one, and we give all the glory and praise to God. On behalf of all the board of directors, past and present, I want to thank all our special community partners here with us today. A special shout out and thank you to our wonderful staff and who work tirelessly in all this COVID environment and their commitment to our organization. Without our special community partners and our staff, quite frankly, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you all very much, and God bless.
Thank you, Paul. I think one of the things, I don't see it on television, mainly because it's something that just gets done when Pastor Pridgeon and the Common Council get to work and our Erie County Legislature get to work on trying to make things better for our living conditions here in Western New York. They never have legislation necessarily on need. You know, what are the needs today? Here's different building plans and whatever. Our next speaker can talk about need, because it comes to this very doorstep on a daily basis. Sometimes with a couple of little peewees along for the ride with mom or dad or whatever the situation might be. But one thing that I've loved about being a Western New Yorker is we deeply care about families. It's not just a word, it's really an environment. It's a way we live here. Everybody is a member of our immediate, extended, or whatever other type of family you want to call it. Well, that's what this place is. And this gentleman is the executive director and the CEO of the Buffalo City Mission. He oversees the mission's work to rescue individuals from poverty and homelessness. And I do mean rescue. It's like they're sitting in the middle of that lake and there's nobody around and no lifesavers. You need to be saved and rescued. He is also the main greeter in the dining rooms when I come down several times a year to help out in the kitchen. I try not to get in the way. I just try to be in the kitchen for the service of lunch. And I see Stu's interaction with a lot of the clients that are in the dining hall. That goes a long, long way, and I'm sure you would agree, to make people feel wanted, to make them feel important, and maybe most importantly, to make them feel wanted. When it comes to hospitality, there's probably nobody better in this area than Russell Salvatore. So I think you know full well what I'm talking about when I say Stu's role is a lot more than being a CEO in an office. He's a hands-on guy, on his feet all the time, and that is so vital to making people getting back on their feet possible. Ladies and gentlemen, our Executive Director, Mr. Stuart Harper. Stu.
I still haven't figured out how not to fog my glasses. Thanks, Kevin. Paul, Pastor. It's a humbling day today. We've been thinking about building something like this I've been here 13 years, probably 10 of those 13 years. We knew that we needed to do something different. We knew that we needed to be able to do more. That building that used to be next door to us served a tremendous purpose and is one of the few self-built homeless shelters in the country. But it was built during a time that the need was different. And it was built by prison architects. And it wasn't appropriate for the work we wanted to do anymore. So we thought about, what are we gonna do? So we looked around the city saying, well, this land is worth something. We're right at the base of the medical campus. Maybe we can sell this land and help kickstart our capital campaign. And so we went on that. We went down that road. In the end, though, we found out that we were right in the perfect spot for us. Our neighbors knew us. Our neighbors liked us. We knew where we were. We knew our address. We owned the land. So it just made sense. So we got with our architect, Steve Carmina, and he said, well, I think I can build a building right in your parking lot. And we were meeting every Friday, and the next Friday he came with a drawing. Said this is what it could look like. So we're going, okay. So we were off and running. It's just been a joy, a challenge this whole time, but knowing that the end result was going to be fantastic. We were imagining and dreaming what this building could be, and it's far more than we could have ever hoped for. The two little red signs that you see over there, Spectrum Health and Jericho Road, medical health, mental health, and addiction services are 70% of the reason people become homeless. And having them right here in this facility is absolutely a game changer for us and for this community. I just want to say a special thank you to our guests that are with us. We're excited to have you all here. This is a huge, truly a milestone for us. The city mission first launched the Next Century campaign. We had a vision to transform the face of homelessness. We knew that the relentless passion of our team and the generosity of this community could achieve something transformative together. We imagined what could be. Today, I'm proud to announce that we have raised more than $15 million to deliver the Alfiero Center of Hope and Promise to our community. It is my honor to declare this community center officially open. As I stand before you in this beautiful welcome center, I am overcome with humility and reflection on what we, meaning all of us, have built together. We had a man in our recuperative care unit who was discharged from the hospital, and he spent 21 days with us. When he left to go home, he was coupled with 20 different support organizations. 20 different support organizations. And this is something we can do today that we were never able to do before. Getting all of these community resources focused on one place and the things that we do. Few of us know what it's like to be on the street, to be totally homeless, to be totally helpless, and to have lost everybody in our lives. To be worried about our physical harm, we have no idea. However, because of each one of you, we have the ability to fulfill our promise to society, and that's to care for everyone. We have built this building together to be able to provide the housing and support that is necessary for our men, women, and children that come to us. The opportunity to have a bed tonight, a warm, safe bed, a bed where they can get 3 hot meals a day, a place where they can go to classes, where they can see a future for themselves, hoping someday to be reunited with their families. That is what we have done here today. We have a van pick up 6 men from this facility every morning at 4 a.m. to go down and fulfill a shift that starts at 5 at a cheese factory. They work at the end of their shift, and they're driven back here. That transportation is provided by the manufacturer. These men are making between $16 and $20 an hour. And it's phenomenal. They're able to start gathering some income, some savings on them when they decide to move out. We come together on Thanksgiving and Christmas morning to teach our kids about those that have less. On those days, they will touch between 8, 10, 12 people. What we have done here is truly a blessing. But what we have done here is that you have participated in building a building that will touch tens of thousands of lives over this building's lifetime. Not many of us get this opportunity to do that in our lives. So that I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our dream, a dream that what our dream could be, a dream that has made us come, a dream that has come true. Look at each other and stand and understand that each of you are part of this miracle that sits at 100 East Tupper Street. Our new community cell allows us to dramatically upgrade our residential space to all our clients. We're not just a homeless housing anymore. We're about community support. A person does not have to be a resident in this facility to get services. Today, though, our partners and allies of community members can come together. Our donors have access to, our doors are open and have access to services. We have 20 different providers that are here multiple times every week. And we have access to another 35 in our community that we are alive with. This place will become the oasis for people in need in our community. We are so blessed you came today. We are so blessed that you participated in this project. We absolutely could not have done this without you. For every person in our community who needs help, we are here. We are here to heal. We are here for them. Together, we are committed to solving the challenges of homelessness and the issues related to poverty. Solving these challenges mean that we need to understand the root causes of homelessness. So many issues stem from this: domestic violence or divorce, health issues related to substance abuse, mental illness or medical conditions, economic issues related to job loss, lack of affordable housing and transportation, housing problems related to eviction, fire, health code violations. We are here to help. The good news is that we have helped solve many of these challenges already. The team's work in this new center will be focused every day on working with the homeless in the community and connecting with our brothers and sisters who need a hand up. The new Alfiero Center for Hope and Promise represents the very best of what we stand for at the mission: help, hope, and healing. But it's also so much more than that. Since we first gathered to celebrate the groundbreaking of this facility, Time and again, we see acts of tremendous generosity, support, and unwavering belief in the work we are doing in our new home. Importantly, we do not get to this point without amazing support. I want to recognize our business and community leaders, our generous donors and sponsors, our partners and vendors, including Jericho Road, who hosts our medical clinic, and Spectrum Health, who provides mental health and addiction services right here in our facility. Our men and women and children at Cornerstone and the community have access to these very special organizations right here. I keep emphasizing that because having them here, again, is a game changer. I want to thank our board who challenged us throughout the process to make sure we stayed focused while standing beside us, imagining what the Buffalo City mission could be. We took that faith walk together. We now have this beautiful building. However, without this team to run it, it would just be a shell. The staff here makes this building work. They are the heart and soul of this building. Every day and night, every morning and evening, every holiday and snow day, they are here. The team we have assembled at the mission inspires me every day. I am so humbled by their work and their commitment to each other and to our clients. As a community, we continue to focus on what this community center represents: inclusion, unity, all-in care, and a sense of renewal for every individual that comes through our door. A recent report from the Homeless Alliance of Western New York cites that more than 45% of people in Buffalo and Erie County live below the poverty line. The impact of COVID-19 also continues to be felt in this community. I can't ignore these facts, but we can help to change them. For more than 100 years, the city mission and this community have worked together for the betterment of every neighbor. Today, once again, we stand together, work together, and lead together to make a lasting impact. The center is open, our work continues. God bless each of you for being with us today, to join us in our mission to change the face of homelessness and poverty in Buffalo. Without each of you, this building would never have been built. Thank you for imagining what could be. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Stu. I think that is the ultimate of, it takes more than a village. It takes a real good team, a team that's committed. And you know, it's something that I know we learned over at St. Joe's, I'm sure you'd agree, Tim, that if you know there's a problem and you don't do anything about it, the problem is still there. But if you ignore a problem because you could do something, that's the best lesson any parent, grandparent in my situation can teach the kids. You want to teach tomorrow's Americans? Teach them what it's like today to lend a helping hand to one of their neighbors. Here's a guy who has a lot of people telling him how to do his job. He's Buffalo's 62nd mayor, currently serving his 4th term in office. Since 2012, Byron has overseen $7.8 billion in economic development and activity in the city, the most we've seen in decades. By championing bold transformational projects, his leadership has positioned Buffalo and our city and area for continued growth, inclusion, and most importantly, more opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Byron Brown. Byron?
Thank you very much, Kevin, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, listening to Stuart Harper, isn't it inspiring? Listening to him talk about the vision of the work of our new Buffalo City mission. Let's give Stuart a round of applause. And Council President Pridgen, isn't it good when you know that your neighbors know you and they like you? That makes things so much easier, doesn't it? I want to say good morning to all of you who have joined us on this historic day for our city. In building this new community center, the Alfiero Center for Hope and Promise, the Buffalo City Mission reminds us of the true power of serving others to lift up our community. The challenges our community has faced due to the COVID-19 pandemic have reinforced that working together and for each other has never been more important. Resilience has never been more needed, and unity has never been more essential. Today's grand opening reminds us of the individual contributions and collective effort to serve our fellow neighbors. On behalf of the City of Buffalo, I commend the Buffalo City Mission, its leadership, Capital Campaign Committee, and every individual involved in bringing us to this joyous occasion. It's achievements like this that continue to earn us our nickname as the City of Good Neighbors. The Alfiero Center of Hope and Promise supports our continued efforts and serves as further evidence that we are strengthening our community that is built for all residents by all residents. The individuals who walk through these doors will be given the opportunity not just for a bed, a meal, or a warm place to lay their heads. They will also be given the opportunity to access care, make connections, and acquire skills and training to move forward and not look back. The goals of the city mission parallel those of my administration to give all of our residents the tools that they need to build successful lives where no one is left out and no one is left behind. I congratulate the Buffalo City Mission on today's official opening. Thank you to Stuart Harper, Aubrey Calhoun, for your relentless passion and the relentless passion of your team, and for the life-saving impact you have on our community today and for the future. Thank you all very much, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. As you all know, the month of March has been kind of selected as being the time that we not only recognize, but we honor strong, determined, successful women. And I'm about to introduce one. She is the Assembly Majority Leader, a member of the New York State Assembly that has served the 141st Assembly District, and she has been doing that since 2003. She was appointed as Majority Leader just a few years back in 2018. She is an unequivocal advocate for social justice, championing issues ranging from criminal justice reform to advancing the community school model program to fighting for equal share for women and minority-owned businesses. I could go on and on and on, but it would be Easter before I would finish all the credits for her. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Crystal Peoples-Stokes.
Thank you, Kevin. To God be the glory for all of the great things he has done, including sitting Stewart here, and the board member here, and the board, Mr. President, because they could have been somewhere else. They could have been doing something else. But God knows the plans that he has for us, and he knows the plans that he has for our community. So it is my honor to be here today to congratulate you all, Mr. President, Stu, where's that young, this young lady right here who headed up the Capital Campaign. Phenomenal work. These things don't happen in a vacuum. They don't just happen, they happen when people care. And you all's caring has demonstrated what will bring up not just hope to people who walk into these doors, but the promise of God. You're bringing that to them, and it excites me to even think about it. I know that, I have a privilege of being here because I wasn't sure I was gonna get out of Albany this week. So I'm grateful to have made it. To join you in, this major accomplishment. Most people don't invest as much time or effort into those who have least in us. But you all have done that, and I am proud to be able to join you. The work that you will put together here for folks is things that many cities would love to have. To have a homeless mother with her children walk into a facility and be able to receive every service that she needs before she leaves is more than groundbreaking. It's transformative just in its own nature. It's the way community service should be done. You should not talk to people about what their needs are and then send them somewhere else to get it. You are changing people's lives in a way that will make Buffalo and the Western New York community greater, well into the future. The medical care that will be offered will be beneficial. I and my staff, and I want to commend my chief of staff, Mark Boyd, I believe he's in the room somewhere, for his due diligence in making sure that that $75,000 that you all needed to connect the new electric transformer happened. Sometimes you start these projects in Albany and they will kind of slow things down, but Mark didn't let them slow down. He was constantly in communication with not just the Assembly Ways and Means team, but with DASNY and with the governor's office. And so I realize that has made a huge impact in this building, and I'm grateful that we were in position to do that. Throughout my career, as was mentioned, I have fought for social justice in our community and throughout our state. I won't stop. I won't say I won't always have this career, but I will not ever stop fighting for social justice, because that is what God charges us to do. If Jesus were here, he would be doing it. We're the ones that have to be in his place now, and I'm grateful to have that opportunity. Lastly, I just want to congratulate my colleagues in government because this is a joint venture. These things don't happen with one level of government making a commitment. It happens with multiple levels of government. So I want to honor the mayor. I want to honor my colleague, Senator Kennedy, and I certainly want to honor the council president for their collective efforts in making sure that the plans that you all made got fulfilled and that people's lives will be transformed, because there is not just hope, but there is a promise, and we can make it happen. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Madam Leader. As you noticed when you came in the building this morning, if you didn't have your heads down because it was raining, there's some lovely words right over the doorway as we come to this center. The Alfiero Family Center of Hope and Promise. It's not just the city mission. This place is strong enough, proud enough, well built enough, backed enough to put a family's name on it. So I think it's about time we heard from a member of the family. He is a member of the Alfiero family, is also the executive director of Foundation 214, a charitable nonprofit that provides tools to help improve the lives of children, the elderly, and veterans of various branches of the U.S. military. I am very proud to introduce Mr. Chris Alfiero. Chris?
Thank you so much for going through, I guess, what is it, spring comes in like a lion and hopefully it goes out like a lamb. Spring just did happen. The 21st of March was just last Sunday, which is now the perfect opportunity for this moment, because we're seeing the birth, the rebirth, the regeneration. It's all happening at the same time. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. But what a wonderful opportunity it is to be here. I thank you all for coming. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it. The Alfiero family, as a member of the Alfiero family, I'm truly honored and also, at this age, blind enough that I actually need these now. I want to thank Stuart Harper. I want to thank Aubrey Calhoun. Especially Aubrey lately, because she has been constantly on me about making sure that the notes that I have here are appropriate, that the pieces on the plaque are appropriately done. I do want to just take one moment here because I want to make a special mention to one of the board members, who is Grace Huff. I would like to take a little bit of credit for having created the environment by which Stuart and Grace came together in, I believe that was 2006. Never would have seen this coming, but always knew after working with Stuart for a while that this was a man that I really wanted to connect with, that I wanted to be in his universe in some form or fashion. And the way things have worked out, it is honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better situation. Foundation 214, we work very hard to make our community a better place. This is as an extension of the old Alfiero Family Charitable Foundation. We're now turning this into an institution, and someday there will be no Alfiero working there. Someday the people that are currently present at the board table and the decision-making table will no longer be there. But the institution will be. Its mission will continue. So what we're doing now is we are taking this wonderful modicum of wealth that my dad was able to develop, and then he and I worked on for a number of years as money managers, and are creating an institution that this money will help to fuel great ideas. It doesn't always solve problems. Problems get solved by people, but the lubricant is sometimes the money. And that's something that we feel very confident being able to provide for a long, long period of time, even after there's no more Alfieros. Homelessness is a special issue. It always was, actually, prior to you becoming the executive director, Stuart. It was always something that sat in the back of my mind when I was a little kid. I remember my mom and her girlfriend used to, the two of them would, they used to haggle their husbands for a bunch of money to go buy some turkeys and whatnot, and then they would bring them down. And it was unique enough to be burned into the memory. And then when Stuart became the director, well, actually, when you came to work with the facility, I believe Tom was at the time? You just replaced each other, okay, all right. So that really helped to bring home the beginning of a relationship. I could feel the tie already happening. Wasn't sure how it was going to come together. This is how it's coming together. This is how we can do some great stuff together. We can provide the ability to build a facility like this. And happy to do so. But it really always, at the end of the day, it does come down to the folks who show up every day to provide the services, to listen to the people, to work with them. That's the real value in a place like this. And what's interesting is that already existed. Now it just has a bigger place to flourish. And we're happy to have our name on it. It's an honor. It really, really is an honor. Our donation was more than just the right thing to do. It was to help a community and strengthen a community that we actually love. My brothers and I are first-generation Buffalonians. My parents moved here after they married, but they did not know each other. They did not live in the same town when they met. They grew up in different areas. It's a funny story how Dad got here, but it's nonetheless, it became our center of gravity. I have one brother who lives in Atlanta, Georgia, funny enough, but and he loves it there. He still has strong ties to Western New York, and at some point, hopefully, he might come and help us do our mission with regard to veterans, which is a very, very important aspect of our mission. But today we're talking about the Buffalo City mission. The center represents a chance to put every homeless veteran, man, woman, and child on a path to better life. and I don't know what else would be better than that. By putting somebody else's needs, you know, I wrote this down as putting them ahead of our own needs. That's not exactly true. We don't put somebody else's needs ahead of our own needs. But it's important to recognize the difference between needs and wants and desires. Wants and desires can be a trap. The liberty that comes with being able to recognize that allows us to say, well, why don't we try and help other people's needs? Why don't we, in a way, pay it forward? Because the return on investment on that, though, is unique because it doesn't come back to the Alfieros. It comes back to Western New York. And it comes back to Western New York because first it comes to these people that are in need. Because once they get themselves squared away, then the ideology of paying it forward, it becomes a solid component of their being. And that's sort of how I vision Foundation 214, how we will try to make things better in Western New York. It's a very unique opportunity that I have, and I will say this, I'll be the first to say this. I fell in a pot of honey because I went from being a manager with my dad, a money manager with my dad, to now being the executive director of a foundation. My job is to annually give lots of money away. And that's, believe it or not, it's actually turned out to be a little bit of a challenge. But it's a very liberating feeling that I get to go and participate in helping make things better. Yeah. I went through my own personal understanding about 4 or 5 years ago about how to contend is the wrong word, but I don't know what else to use right now, but to cope with Christ. And what I got out of it was that within each of us is the ability to shine that light, to elicit that little bit of Christ consciousness that exists in all of us, to do the right thing. I can't do the right thing all of the time. Pretty emotional, ask Grace. But I know that once in a while it peaks out. And every time I sit in meetings, every time I get these letters of intent from these institutions across Western New York and the other 8 counties, the other 7 counties, excuse me, regarding education for kids or healthcare for adults or something that's going on with veterans, I just feel this overwhelming need to, you know, you immediately want to say yes, but you really do have to examine it to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. But there is so much need out there that the thing I feel bad about is that I don't have enough dollars to give away to feed all of these issues. But we're going to try. And the Buffalo City Mission is, I don't know how else you can come into this place and not feel as though it's running through you. It's there. You can't help but feel it. And it's hard to describe, it's hard to put into words. But it is a wonderful feeling. And because of that, I know I'm doing the right thing. Can I do more? I'm certainly examining myself to try and figure that out. But I do feel like I'm doing a pretty good thing here. And I do plan on being around to see the results of it. It's a neat opportunity for us. I'm completely honored to be here. I'm thankful to be able to speak with all of you today. Thank you for coming. Mayor Brown, first time I met Mayor Brown actually was standing on the street in Elmwood Avenue, and I got to remember Cheryl Gorski. She and I came over and chatted with you. And for some reason I thought, where's the security detail? Why aren't you, I mean, security detail? No, this is my town. And it's good to see you again. So, folks, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for coming and seeing this. We really look forward to working with Buffalo City Mission going forward. This isn't just a one-time deal. In fact, last year we did some other stuff with COVID-19, which we thought was very important among a few other institutions. And as time goes forward, hopefully you'll see more and more of the Foundation 214 having its finger in some of the pies that will be coming our way. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Have you met Mayor Brown?
I have. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pick up Mayor Brown. It really was.
You don't have to pick on him. It's ByronBrown.com if you'd like to make a donation. I think I got that right. You know, it's strange because here we are ready to enter into Holy Week. And of course, the great saying, there are three virtues. There's faith, there's hope, and there's charity. And they say the greatest of all the gifts is charity. Well, what Crystal said was important. People are not coming here for a handout. They're not coming here for people to feel sorry for them. But what I would like you to do in your own mind right now, think of the very first time you did an act of charity for somebody you didn't know. And how did you react to that? I remember when I brought my nieces and nephews to a soup kitchen here, and they looked and they didn't understand a whole lot of why these kids were so happy to get the food they were getting. But they understood, and they came back year after year after year. The gift of giving, and to touch on what you said, Chris, it all depends on opportunity. If you give them an invitation to participate, they will come. And I think that's it. So for you and your family and your good investments, thank you very much for making this a marvelous place that we can be very proud of as a community. Her name is Danielle Shane Brown. She's the president and chief business officer for the McGuire Development Company, a premier commercial estate firm headquartered here in Western New York. In addition to her role with McGuire, Danielle is an ardent community advocate and is very active on several boards, including her role as the board chair for ARC Erie County. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is Danielle Shane Brown. Danielle?
It's going to be really tough to follow Chris because that was a really good speech. Not everybody's been awesome, but that was tough. It's an honor to be here. Starting back in September of 2013, we started meeting weekly with the city mission team to figure out the dream for this place. The mission already had its dream, but what was the right facility to put it in? When I think back on the journey of building the Alfiero Family Center of Hope and Promise, a few words come to mind: dream, vision, community, and unity. A number of the speakers here today have touched on similar themes, and there's a reason for this. In order to make this vision a reality, we all had to come together. We all had to work together to make this building come alive. And working together, we really have accomplished something very special. At McGuire, every project starts with a vision. And a vision is not just a building. It's what's going to happen in the building. It's how is the building going to serve the people who are inside of it. And this project is always top of mind for me because that is the bones of this structure. What are we doing within the four walls of this building? And how are we improving the lives of the people who walk through that door so that when they walk back out, they are truly transformed? Working together with the Buffalo City Mission, we've been inspired by their endless commitment to make meaningful, lasting change for the poor and homeless in our region. Since day one, way back in 2013, Stuart, Aubrey, and the leadership team have been unwavering advocates for building a community center that can set the standard for how we help neighbors in need. Throughout our partnerships, we have shared values of integrity, hard work, and commitment to building something greater than the sum of our parts. One of our goals was to build a community center that not only sets the standard for Buffalo and Western New York, but sets a precedent for how missions across the country and across the world should be designed and constructed. With dignity, with care for the people that they serve, and with the promise of tomorrow. On behalf of the McGuire Development Company and every team member, and there were many of us who worked on this project, I want to thank the City Mission for their collaboration and for their true inspiration to make this center a reality today. And I look forward to seeing the impact it will have in this wonderful community. Thanks.
Thank you, Danielle. I think it's easy to see that a building is concrete, mortar, steel, and all kinds of other supplies, but it really takes the beating heart of a good team of people who understand the need to make this thing really tick. This next guy understands needs. He understands what makes things tick, but that happens because he's a native son. A member of the New York State Senate, been serving on that body for representing the 63rd Senatorial District since 2011. He has also served as chair of the Senate Transportation Committee since 2019, a lifelong Western New Yorker. He is an ardent advocate for the region's workforce and works to protect the most vulnerable in our community. And I'm glad to call him a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Tim Kennedy. Tim?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. What an honor it is to be here with so many of you here this morning. You know, I'm just inspired. I'm inspired by all of you. I'm inspired by the message we're hearing this morning, starting with Pastor Jerry, and of course, Paul Kazmierczyk and Stuart. Thank you for your leadership, Kevin O'Connell. Mayor Brown and the Majority Leader, Danielle, they all summed it up, and I know we're going to hear from so many more inspiring Western New Yorkers, generous Western New Yorkers, giving of themselves, not just from their pocketbooks, but from their heart. That's what this is all about. Anytime I see Russell Salvatore in the room, I know it's going to be a great day. I started this morning actually using that phrase, it's going to be a great day, because I saw a rainbow this morning. I don't know if any of you caught that. And of course, our council president, Darius Pridgeon, no stranger to the church. You know, the center of the heart here in these symbols is the cross. And yes, we are going upon Easter week with Passover weekend upon us here. And you know, the rainbow is a sign to me personally of those that have come before us. And I said to my wife, it's going to be a great day. And we are off to a great start. Just before this, I had a meeting with the African American Heritage Corridor Committee, and I shared with them that statement. It's going to be a great day, because at the end of their presentation, they had two extraordinary individuals that have graced us with their presence that have gone on, and that was Bishop Henderson and George K. Arthur. And I said, you know, we stand upon their shoulders. And today I say we stand upon all of your shoulders that have made this inspiring structure, community center, in place of grace and giving come to be. And it's 75,000 square feet of greatness, of something that is going to serve generations, to your point, Paul and Stuart, to come, and to the Alfaro family. Thank you for your generosity, and so many others. For generations to come. People will never get to meet in person, but we know we're having an impact on right now here today. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for playing a part in making this happen. I'm really honored to be in your presence. Unfortunately, the job at hand is calling for me to be at a budget meeting with the head of Senate Finance at 11:30. So I have to personally run, so I won't be able to stick around for the ribbon cutting, but I'll be here with you in spirit. And once again, thank you to each and every one of you. And I just have this proclamation to present on behalf of myself, the New York State Senate, and the legislature as a whole to this wonderful institution. Thank you all for making this happen.
And at the end of that rainbow is a pot of gold, and that's why he's going to a budget hearing, because hopefully we'll find it there. This gentleman is the regional executive of Key Bank, the upstate New York region, and president of the bank's Buffalo market. He's very, very active in the community, and I think that speaks volumes for everybody in this room. We all love this community so well that we just can't not get our fingers and hands into it. He also serves on the boards at Say Yes Buffalo, Buffalo Racial Equality or Equity Task Force, the Buffalo Niagara Partnership, DeYuba College, and the Heritage Centers. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gary Quinleville.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everybody. Stuart, Aubrey, Paul, this place is incredible. Awesome, just awesome work. It's a special moment for all of us at Key Bank and First Niagara Foundation as we gather with all of you to celebrate a new facility that will change the face of this community. The work of the Buffalo City Mission is truly inspiring and maybe needed now more than ever. We're proud to be a part of it. Today is the opening of a new center that represents the very best of what it means to serve others. We're very proud to partner with the City Mission and many others here today in the important work to provide shelter, food, housing, career development, life skills, medical care, continuing ed for thousands of individuals in need across our community. The Al Fierro Center of Hope and Promise is a place where individuals can come together and receive more than shelter. It's a place you can find fulfillment and where they can access innovative and comprehensive recovery programs that can put them on a path to meaningful and lasting change. For this reason, we're proud to sponsor the City Mission's Pathway to Hope and Healing, which showcases our City of Good Neighbors coming together to help change lives. The opening of this center is the result of the efforts of many, Stuart, Aubrey, and the City Mission team. Thank you for inviting us here today to recognize the transformation of this community center. It is our honor to support an initiative like this center, which will stand as a permanent reminder to all of us that caring for individuals in need can create lasting and positive change. On behalf of Key Bank and the First Niagara Foundation, we could not be more pleased and to be a part of this extraordinary effort. Thank you very much, Aubrey, Stuart, Paul. This is great work. Thanks for including us.
Thank you, Gary. He is a bishop. He's the senior pastor of True Bethel Baptist Church. He serves as the president of the Buffalo Common Council, representing the Ellicott District. Currently, he serves as the City Mission's Next Century Capital Campaign honorary chair. Once a year, this daring individual gets out this thing called his magic wand, and he raises a lot of money for our kids. And for that, I'm sure he has earned many credits up above. A good friend, and he's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going and going and going. Ladies and gentlemen, Bishop Darius Pridgen.
To God be the glory, as my member says every time. I'm going to be brief, and I'm a pastor, so when I say I'm going to be brief, that means like an hour and a half. First of all, I want to thank you, Kevin. Thank all of you who are here. What a tremendous moment this is today, being here to recognize a true moment of reflection and celebration. Those who know me and those who have followed the City Mission's recent journey know that this new community center is more than a new structure. It is a foundation of hope, foundation of healing. Before I was even an elected official, as a pastor, I remember when people, and as the city and as our administration was bringing our city up, there were people who were saying, it's time for the City Mission to move out. I was not one of those voices. I remember when Stu and others were saying, is there any land outside because, you know, some people don't want us here. I disagree. When a city is doing well, it is not time to put out its most vulnerable outside. That's the time you pull them up. When I became elected and I joined up with City Mission by the request of Aubrey and Stu, and they asked me to be the honorary chair, in my talking points, and I scratched them out, because I'm gonna tell the truth, I said no. I've got enough on me. Do enough, I can't do it. And she said, do me one favor, let's pray about it. And if at the end of prayer, it's still no, then I'll leave you alone. My wife, who has experienced things in her life, I went home and she said it's the right thing to do. She couldn't be with us today, but the only reason that I was able to do this is because of a loving and caring wife who understands homelessness. This part has been challenging, this year has been challenging to say the least. Some doubted that this project could ever finish. And I'm sure some wanted this project never to occur. But I've come to tell you, and as you sit here, you know that not only did it finish during the midst of a pandemic, when others were home, the builders were still here. When others couldn't make it in, there were people who kept saying, this must occur. So it's not enough to have hope and not have healing. And it's not enough to have healing and not have hope. You have to have them both. And so when it comes to lifting up our neighbors, changing lives, no work is more noble. No priority more important. No work is more meaningful. When I first spoke to Aubrey, I was afraid when she said to me, we need to raise, I believe, over $4 million. Well, I didn't know where $4 million was going to come from, the same way I never know where it's going to come from Variety Club. But I just know when people get together and they care, yes, more, when they care more about their neighbors than even themselves, and we understand that a city progressing is not measured by how many new shiny buildings we build if we are not building people. And what is occurring in this room today and what you are in is more than brick and mortar. This is about building people. I want to underscore this point. This is about changing lives. It is not simply about the great architecture, and it is great. It is not simply about the great builders, and they were great. It is not simply about the great donations, and they are great. But it is about making people great, who many people have wrote off, have walked away from. In my closing, today is a new beginning. Today, the City Mission officially opens a center of hope and healing, and you are sitting in it right now. I've been humbled and grateful to be the honorary chair of the mission's Next Century Capital campaign. As we work together to realize the promise of this day, today is another step in our journey. I started this journey as a personal mission without being elected. Then I joined as a pastor, and it became a spiritual mission. But now as I stand here, as all of those, but even as an elected official, I say, with our mayor, and he has said it so wonderfully, this is a part of the city's mission. And when the city's mission joins up with the city mission, then we can measure the success of our city. I say our city is successful even today based on you being here. The city's mission is our city's mission. God bless you and God keep you.
Dynamite. Thank you, Bishop. He's the founder of his own foundation. A successful business owner and philanthropist, he has dedicated more than 50 years to making this community a better place to live, to do business, and raise your family. He's done that through his signature restaurants, hotels, and his charitable donations. He's a proud veteran of the United States Army. He also devotes time to raising awareness and support of our local veteran community. He's the only guy that could follow Darius Pridgen, trust me. Ladies and gentlemen, Russell Salvatore.
Thank you very much. Sat there so long, my legs won't move, for Christ's sake. I'm not used to sitting down like this, you know. I just want to say thank you very much. I'm happy to be part of you people that have done so much for this organization. Audrey, Stewart, and your committee did a great job. I feel like I was here, it was only 2 years ago, I feel like it was 10 years ago. What took you so long, for Christ almighty? You know, but I'm happy to be part of it. A couple of years ago, Audrey gave me a call, and she just says, Russ, can I come and see you? We're gonna be putting up a new building, the city mission, so forth. We're wondering if there's any way we can count on you for a couple of bucks. I said, well, what are your couple of bucks? You know, I says, no problem. I says, come and see me in the morning and I'll give you a check. It's been so long ago, I don't think you cashed it yet. you did? Well, I better put the money back in the bank. Okay. And then it's about a year ago, she asked me, she gave me a call and said, Russ, you know what? We're putting a restaurant up. Do you have any idea who I could get to call on? And we would like to give them the naming rights of the restaurant. I says, my gosh almighty, I says, let me think about it. So I got off, and then I called her back. I says, let me ask you a question. If I give you money and I go broke, am I allowed to eat there? She says, on one condition, you don't do any commercials that say, well, where are you having dinner tonight? The city mission, of course, you know. I have the whole city of Buffalo there, you know. But anyways, they says, come and see me again. And again, we sat down, and I gave her a small check. And I feel so proud of being able to do that. And now the restaurant out there is called, you know, Russell's Salvatore Dining Room. Don't ever change that name. You got that straight? You get somebody to give you more than $20 that I gave you. They're going for money for a bigger name up there. But I just want to say thank you very much. I'm so happy to be part of this. You know, I'm a little guy with all the marbles here, but thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm proud to do what I do for the city. And there's not anything better for me to do than if I do die, I want to die broke. Thank you, and God bless everybody.
Our final speaker this afternoon is the Associate Executive Director for the Buffalo City Mission. I think based on how they've used her name this morning, we may have to call her Bulldog, I think, from this point. She oversees all the major donor and corporate development programs in line with the mission's multi-million-dollar Next Century Capital campaign. She is committed to ensuring that every person who walks through the doors of this building has a second chance towards a new journey and a stable life. My pleasure to introduce my friend, Aubrey Calhoun. Aubrey?
So good morning. So I guess I really wanted to start saying when I was riding in this morning to the center and just looked up at the sky and said, okay, God, I know you can show up and really dismiss the clouds, get rid of the rain, but it was great where Tim Kennedy said that he actually saw a rainbow. So I guess we need to say that this is the day that the Lord has made, so we all need to rejoice and be glad in it. Amen? Amen. So my heartfelt gratitude is to many of you today, our distinguished speakers, our board, our staff, our senior leadership, our donors, Capital Campaign Committee members, construction development team, friends, and those who are actually watching our ceremony live today. We are blessed to have you with us. This morning we have heard a lot about the power of working together and what we can achieve from it. The opening of the O'Farrell Family Center of Hope and Promise is one of those moments that actually can change lives. It is a moment of reflection on the hard work and the generosity of so many of you. Today is a moment of celebration. As Stuart mentioned earlier, we have exceeded our 15 million goal of our fundraising campaign initiative to support this beautiful facility. But those who will actually come to this facility, reside in this facility, where this facility becomes their home and we become their family. It also is a beacon of light that will stand for centuries to come, where hope and healing truly begins. So I'm so excited and immensely proud to share that our total amount raised for this facility was $15,124,374. I always say to everybody, the Lord actually helped us cross this finish line strong. So to every partner, to every donor, every organization, and every individual who actually stood shoulder to shoulder with us to support our vision to change the face of homelessness. For without you, our work would not be possible. So we thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. Today is also a moment of gratitude for the incredible hard work of everyone to realize the promise we made together so many years ago. It is a moment to recognize the camaraderie and resolve of what we all shared together through one of the most challenging years in memory. And importantly, it is also a moment for looking to the future. As our center is now open and we begin to welcome the community in the next coming weeks, our work will continue. For every individual that walks through our doors, we will be committed to rescuing those in desperate need, offering an opportunity for restoration to help people overcome the root cause of homelessness for good by providing holistic programming through physical, mental, and spiritual health, education, vocational skill training, housing, and so much more. This is our promise. This is our mission. This is our legacy. So as we move forward, I ask all of you to ask yourselves today, what can you promise? And what will be your legacy for those who are in desperate need in the future? Many in this room and those watching online have contributed to the building and also to our Pick a Brick campaign. The Pick a Brick campaign continues even today, and it will continue into the future because we have over 42,000 bricks that are still remaining to have individuals' names engraved on these wonderful bricks. But it's also going to be able to provide that pathway of hope for those in need to the centuries to come. From the very start, this campaign has been driven by this community, but for this community. The fight against homelessness in our region continues, and we have carried out our part together as the City of Good Neighbors. So I ask each and every one of you today that you continue to share our story with others so that they too can help make a difference. I ask that those share our website, stay connected, come in, take tours, participate, because homelessness does not end today. Homelessness continues 24/7, 365. So I challenge each of you to make an act of kindness for others in need in years to come. For the smallest action can have an incredible impact. As a wise person once said, don't prepare the path for the individual, instead prepare the individual for the path. We have achieved so much together, and today marks the beginning of a new chapter for the O'Farrell Family Center that will be built as a community, but for this community. Your support and actions have been led by examples, and it has been so essential and so grateful. God bless you all for joining us on this wonderful day of celebration that will bring hope and healing for so many moving forward. I also like to say thank you to the senior leadership team of the Buffalo City Mission. We've all come together and worked very hard on many different platforms, many different programs. Each day, the team is really giving it its all. I want to thank our grant writing team. I want to thank our CFO. I want to thank the development team for many nights that they have been out in the community hosting leadership briefings. Darius for being our honorary chair for the Capital Campaign. It was a huge commitment to bringing this campaign together. The construction team, and then all of our friends and the board as well. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you and love you. God bless you all.
Thank you, Aubrey. All right, a couple of instructions. If you're going to take the tour, our guides are in the back right now. Please follow them if you will. For the members of the media, Danny, and for all the camera guys, we're going to do a ribbon cutting right up here. The first 5 rows, we would like all of you individuals to come forward because we're going to be doing a group shot with that. And for the rest of the audience, there's a reception in the Mission Chapel for some light refreshments. You're most welcome to go in there and enjoy that as well. I think the message is very clear. Go forth and let the people know what's going on at 100 down here in downtown. Thank you all very, very much. Happy Passover and a very happy Easter to all of our folks. Thank you.
I'm just gonna try it again. Do you want to come up a little bit? Do you want to go on that side?
2, 2.5, 1, cut.
Stay with us.